Stay tuned for the biggest fish, the hottest bites, this week here on In-Depth Outdoors. With James Holst and Pat McSherry and the rest of the IDO fishing team. We're headed to the best fisheries across the upper Midwest and Canada. We'll fish longer, explore unfished bodies of water, and go further off the beaten path in search of the hottest bites in fresh water.
Look at that fish.
This is In-Depth Outdoors.
Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of In-Depth Outdoors. I'm James Holst. Now here we are, week 10 of our broadcast season. Hard to believe that we've been at it for 2.5 months already. On today's show, this one was all a reminder to me of how enjoyable a really good bluegill bite can be. You know, I'll readily admit that sometimes our focus, we just lock in on, walleyes and pike and lake trout. This episode today, just a phenomenal reminder of how to take everything back, simplify it, and get in on a great bite that's responsible for getting most of us into ice fishing in the first place. We head to southern Ottertail County to fish with Konnor Kleist. We get in on a great bluegill bite as a storm front's rolling in. And this isn't one of your normal bluegill bites where they're ultra picky and you've got to counter that with some super finesse tactics. Nope, we break out the spoons and we're rewarded for it. So stick around. I think you're going to love today's show. We've arrived. Get off on the edge of the people and have at it, huh?
Exactly. Find some isolated weeds and see what we can do. All right.
Bullwhip, I would assume.
Yes, sir.
Help yourself. Oh. First drop on them. Come here, you. I went a little bit more aggressive, like I usually do. Not a bad start right there, boys. There must be some predators in here because this one's got a limp. He's been smoked. That's a nice gill to start, man. So what I usually do when I'm pan fishing, and I'm gonna be straight with you, going with a spoon to start. Sometimes you look really smart, other times you're the fishless wonder. Today, that fish came up, hit it twice. I missed him the first time, came right back and hit it again. Not a giant, but that would fall firmly in the wonderful eater range. But we're not eating, so gets a free pass. Bye-bye. All right. So that there is a green UV tumbler spoon. It's kind of an oddball as far as size. I believe that's a 1/12 of an ounce. What I love about it is great hooking percentage. Treble hook, put a couple wax worms on there. You just don't miss a lot of fish, even though I did miss him the first time. It was rusty, first drop. So good hooking percentage. And I just love the size of it. These fish can see this bait from a long ways away. They're either gonna be in one of two moods, all over it or completely reject it. And I always kind of want to start aggressive and see what that gets me. That got me a good fish on the first drop.
That one wanted it though.
Dunk.
Oh, that's fun. Ooh.
You get a good one?
A pretty one. Very nice. Tall, nice big bull. And you weren't wrong. He put that bait down his throat.
Yep.
That's incredible.
People, pan fishermen, do not give little spoons as much of a consideration as they should.
No. To put it down their throat, I mean, it's a 32nd ounce jig. Nice easy pop out. UV perch flash champ, 32nd ounce, and yeah, that fish definitely, there's a couple smaller ones down there, and this one comes up from the bottom, skirts right past them, comes up and devours that bait. So we'll get them back. Oh, sorry, guy. See you, bud. Pretty fish. And there's more waiting.
Yeah, I think I got one of the smaller ones from the look of him, but maybe not. He's tussling on me. Come here, you. Hey, it's a pretty one. All right. Not a giant. Handful. Super nice gill there. A little bit more colorful than the last. I'll fire that one back. I got to rebait real quick. Let's go through this whole tub of waxies today. What do you think?
That's a good day.
I'll start counting them to make sure we got our 500.
At Eskimo, we have the tools to help you enjoy your time on the ice. They say man needs food, clothing, and shelter. When it comes to shelter, we like the Outbreak 450i with its full-size no-trip door that's nearly 74% bigger than a standard door, making it much easier to load and unload. With 75 square feet of fishable area, you'll be warm and comfortable during your day on the ice. Check out the Outbreak 450i and our full line of products at geteskimo.com.
From the first time you pick up a tuned-up custom rod, you'll know you're holding something special. A rod not mass-produced, but built one at a time by the hands of gifted craftsmen. Rods like the Precision, ice fishing's most versatile multi-species rod, or the Precision Noodle with a tip so sensitive you'll never fish a spring bobber again. And the Commander, the rod that's never met a big fish it couldn't best. Tuned-up custom rods. Ice rods handcrafted for you and the way you fish.
Reed's Family Outdoor Outfitters in Walker, Minnesota has the hottest products for ice fishing at unbeatable prices. Everything from ice electronics, ice shelters, and ice clothing from all the top brands. And the newest lithium-powered augers with special everyday pricing on the Garmin LiveScope Ice Bundle. Whether you're visiting us in Walker, Minnesota or placing an order online at reedsports.com, our state-of-the-art distribution center ensures you'll get your order fast. Reed's Family Outdoor Outfitters offers the best service, best price, best advice, guaranteed.
There he is. Not in the transducer. Oh, look at this. That's a pretty one. Oh, I love me those spoons. Look how nice that is. You know, we got us one of those days where, that feels good. Nice handful there. Whoa! Yeah, that's a dandy, you know, for a lake that's got quite a bit of fishing pressure going on out here. Average size so far, money. Oh, all right, the spoon is working.
No kidding, which is weird. You think on a day like today they'd want that tungsten in a plastic, but not the case.
Ooh, he's angry, as I would be. Come on now. Yes, dinner plates doing the spin. I love these things. Look at this. Yes. Average size, excelente. Super nice. Anytime I can get this big old meat thumb in a bluegill's mouth, that's a pretty good sign. Back you go, fish. We're not gonna make a lot of ceremony out of this because I've got more down there.
Little guy. Would taste mighty fine though. Let's see, bud. Right. Kind of those schools are just roaming, and you'll get 3 or 4 fish that'll come in real hot, real quick, and you kind of got to make hay because once those fish kind of push out, you're waiting for more fish to kind of circle back through. So kind of getting them unbuttoned, get them back, and fire it back down there is kind of the key, because these pods of fish really aren't real big, but they're pretty aggressive. But when they're real aggressive, odds that means that they're moving pretty quick. So just trying to get back down there. Got one racing up to me here. Oh, and you can't catch them if you miss them. So, but he's gonna give me another chance. I can't catch them all, otherwise there won't be any left. But you get them the third time. Another little guy. But it kind of shows you too, a lot of times, you know, here's a little guy going back, but those pods of fish that are roaming together, a lot of times they are the same size fish. So if you catch one, you catch two and they're kind of smaller, a lot of times those bigger fish are roaming together. So if you catch a nice one, make sure to get it unbuttoned, get back down there quick, and see if that other friend waiting with them is just as big. In this case, just as small. So
I'm noticing that so far you want to be at least 2 to 3 feet off the bottom.
Absolutely.
If you're below that, they just ignore it for some reason.
One, it brings more fish in too, you know, keeping it higher up, more aggressive. You're gonna see a lot more fish coming your way, but also your big fish, you know, your little ones, most of the time they like to stay kind of close to the bottom, little security, but.
False sense. I'm fishing with a tuned up custom bullwhip here. 3-pound test. It's a fun little panfish rod, and I have that thing just permanently knotted into a bluegill. Little guy. I think I may have to switch holes. I think I may have burned through all the good ones out of this one. Come on. See you bye. Actually, that would be a pretty darn good eater there. I'm a big fan of big bluegills, so you won't be catching me eating any giant bluegills anytime soon. I've often said I'd rather catch a 12-inch bluegill, which I've never done, than a 10-pound walleye, because I've done that.
In-depth outdoors, spot on the spot ID.
So here's where the Mega 360 really comes into play when you're fishing this type of body of water. We know we've got a real thick weed line in shallow, but how we're really targeting and getting on these pods of fish once they start to move out of the shallows and out towards the basin, is we're looking for this type of scenario right here. You've got a little tuft of isolated weeds that's way off that main weed line, and as these fish, particularly the larger fish, start to filter out towards the basin, this is that bus stop we were talking about earlier. This is just where they're collecting, they're grouping up there, and they're incredibly vulnerable. And just in case you might have 360 that you're experimenting with, I'm gonna pull up my settings here just to share them. I've got sensitivity set on a -8, and the contrast is at 9. So those settings on this particular body of water, we're in about 13 feet. Water clarity is really good. It's producing just a great image for us. We just run down this outside edge of that weed line, and those isolated patches stick out like a sore thumb.
Introducing the new Pro Suit jacket and bibs from StrikeMaster. Built for the coldest, toughest conditions, the Pro Suit features a ripstop polyester outer shell that is as comfortable as it is durable. A puff liner jacket adds both warmth and versatility, while integrated SOS stay-on-surface flotation provides up to 2 hours of flotation when the jacket and bibs are worn as a pair. StrikeMaster, the hottest brand on the ice.
Okuma Fishing Tackle offers a complete lineup of reels for the die-hard ice angler. The Okuma Samar 10 and Inspira 20 are a perfect match with your favorite panfish or walleye ice fishing rod. Both feature a long stem handle that fits comfortably in a gloved hand. Cyclonic flow rotor technology that throws water off the reel to minimize ice buildup. And a drag system optimized for use in extreme conditions. Everywhere, every day, every fish. Okuma Fishing Tackle is inspired fishing.
Does your sonar offer dual spectrum chirp, producing razor-sharp images on an ultra-bright HD display? The ability to tailor the display to the way you fish. Precision GPS functionality with legendary Lake Master mapping to move effortlessly from ice to open water. If not, you should be fishing an Ice HELIX, the electronic system that offers all the features and performance successful ice anglers demand. Only from Humminbird.
Suffix Advanced Mono is now on ice. Our toughest and most sensitive mono ever offers 50% less stretch than standard monofilaments. That means your hook sets are rock solid, with virtually no line memory, no matter how cold the conditions. The line you choose is your direct connection between you and your next big bite. With Suffix, there's nothing you can't catch. Always use the best line. This winter, choose Suffix Advanced Ice Monofilament, the mono that thinks it's a braid.
I got one. It's not my best one. Hey, it's a little crappie.
At a high mark. There he is. Ooh. Ooh. A real one. Oh, that's pretty.
Legit?
It's legit. Big hen. A big hen. And she was honestly, she came down on it. She was only about 5 foot down. We're sitting in 13 foot here, but she heard the VMC calling her in and came in up high. And honestly, I had two that came up with her, definitely both bigger marks, and she just ate that. But gorgeous fish there. Gorgeous morning here. I mean, kicking open holes from the day before. Crazy the weather we're having today, but I think these fish are all about it this morning. So, gotta love when they fill up your hand. There we go. See it, girl. Sweet.
There he is. Ooh, I like this one. I might have a big crappie here or a really nice gill. Ho, ho, ho. Come here, you. Oh, it is just a giant. Look at this. Spoon-fed bluegill. Get big. That is a dandy. Oh, look at that thing. You don't get a lot of those on pressured lakes. I like. Man, that is a handful. Very nice. All right, I'm gonna unhook that fish. I have been very, very successful at times opting for the spoon to start, and I've also been made to look, like I said earlier, pretty dumb. End up watching people catch fish. But there are times when these bigger fish want nothing to do with those smaller baits. It doesn't happen all the time. There's days when they want nothing but that real small finesse stuff. And since I know that's not my game, I always reach for the metal first. Look at that thing. Whew. Biggest bluegill of the year so far, middle of January. God, it's after the middle of January. Imagine that. That tells you it's kind of a weird year. Haven't even fished bluegill much.
Here comes one. Ooh. Feels a little better. Feels really good. Come on, buddy. Oh, yes. That's a big one. That's a real one. Wow. Something about big bluegills really brings a kid back to, or brings a guy back to being a kid, but he wanted that flash champ there. Cool. Look at that. And that one right there just fills your hand, makes it disappear. So much fun. Those are one of those fish that you absolutely 100% want to see go back to the resource. Couldn't stress it enough nowadays that fish like this, you know, they're a dying breed, and they're the ones that you really want to see go back to the resource, and just give those lakes a chance to keep producing fish like this, because to me, that is special. And I think to a lot of guys, fish like that right there is special. So we'll get her back. Cool. Cool, cool. I'm happy now.
Heck yeah.
I'm happy now. Oh.
Boom. Don't think he's the one I was after, though. Come on up here. He ain't bad. He ain't all bad. Look at that. I had 3 big marks. Not sure I got the biggest one. Frankly, I don't care. That one's pretty nice. What I'm doing now with these spoons, they flutter in the water all over the place. And if I get a mark that's kind of hanging up, not willing to come up underneath it and eat it, I've just been giving it kind of about a 9-inch rip. Just flip it up in the air and let it do that thing down. They catch it on the fall. Look at that. That's a hefty bluegill. I like. Now let's see if I can extract. This is one of those we want to be really careful with, take good care of. Of course, when he came up out of the hole, his mouth filled with snow. So you can't see anything. All right, buddy. This is gonna be okay. Easy cheesy. Hey, 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 hey. That there is a real nice bluegill. Not our biggest by any means today, but I think just about anybody would be happy with that one. Let that go. Whoop. So a tip to share on how to approach bluegills here today, or bluegills at any time. I think a lot of anglers fall into the trap of putting a bait right down on top of the fish, fishing it close to bottom. They see those bluegills coming on the bottom, come up to the bait. But what you really want to do, instead of being in that bottom 1 foot, get up 3 or 4 foot above the bottom. And what that does is it gives those bluegills the ability to come in under the bait and start to rise a little bit, and they feel a lot more comfortable. You can tell in the way they interact with the bait that giving them that extra space to come up, investigate the bait, they're more comfortable, they're more confident, and once they start to commit and you raise it just a little bit more, they're so far above the bottom at that point, it's almost like they're committed. And I think it's one of the keys to getting these bluegills, which at times can be, really finicky. Today they're on a pretty good bite, but particularly when they're really finicky, keep that bait above their heads, give them at least, 2 foot of free operating space before they start to move on the bait. I think you're going to put a lot more fish on the ice.
Brandel GM in Aiken, Minnesota's only haggle-free Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC dealer, is a proud sponsor of In-Depth Outdoors TV. Our Brandel value price ensures that you don't have to spend your entire day haggling to get a great deal. And every new vehicle comes with our exclusive gimmick-free lifetime powertrain warranty. Whether you're in need of service, sales, parts, or body shop repair, stop by our state-of-the-art facility in Aiken or visit us 24/7 at brandelgm.com.
With the release of the Tungsten Bullfly jig from BMC, your panfish presentation just got buggier. By creating a spot-on invertebrate imitator destined to fool the most wary panfish. The Tungsten Bullfly jig is available in 9 colors to further accommodate today's angler, including 4 metallic finishes and 5 ultra glow colors, which hold a charge up to 15 minutes. This winter, match the hatch and outsmart the most finicky panfish with the BMC Bullfly jig.
Glacial Lakes Dock is now Glacial Lakes Recreation. Located in Starbuck, Minnesota, we offer the same great location, staff, and service with a new name to better fit our ever-expanding business. As an authorized dealer and service center for Yeti and now Alumilite ice houses, we have you covered if you're looking for a new house or just need a little service. Stop in today or check us out online at glaciallakesrec.com and make this ice season your most enjoyable and comfortable ever.
Got him. Not as big as I thought. I would have bet that one was going to be a 10 plus, just the way it fought. All right, back you go. Whoop. Oh!
There we go. Tall. Gorgeous fish. We're gonna let him go. Beautiful. Another nice bluegill. Real tall fish. Clean. It just doesn't get old. We'll get her back. There's one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at her. Right there. Big hen. Snow's falling. As we were just talking about, that front it's starting to roll in right now, and these fish know it, and they're pretty charged up and they're showing it. That is awesome when they're eating spoons like that. Oh, makes the hand disappear. Pretty cool fish right there. Clean, gorgeous. Get her unbuttoned, just like that. Cool, awesome. Can't beat that. See ya, girl.
There he is. Oh, so gentle. He was doing the tongue of the waxworm in there. Oh, look at that. That's a pretty one. I like that a lot.
Nice fish.
I sure wish there were more lakes with fish of that quality. That's another one that got grabbed at the back. There must be some pretty good sized pike running around in here, which, you know, you got to have those healthy predators to get big bluegills, big panfish. Fire him back.
There we go. God, that's fun. Another beautiful bluegill. So clean, pretty. I mean, come this time of year, you're starting to see a lot more, you know, kind of lethargic fish. Not the case today, you know, obviously every day is different, but this front has definitely kind of fired them up. I mean, hard to see across the other side of the lake right now, but there are plenty more where that thing came from, so sweet. See a guy? I'm gonna go get your buddy.
Whoop, there he is. They have slowed way down with the way this front has come in now.
Yes, they have.
Decent fish. Man, we've caught just a ton today. I think I'm good for another one or two, and then we're gonna skedaddle.
Works for me.
Cool deal. Not very often that you get out here and make a TV show in half a day. So that brings us to the end of today's show. Had a phenomenal time out there catching bluegill with Konnor Kleist. And before we go, I just want to say kind of a special word about Konnor. You know, now that I'm far from being a newbie in the fishing industry, I get to look around and spot guys with that right blend of talent, people that kind of remind me a little bit of myself when I was a younger lad, and I see that in Konnor Kleist. Konnor right now, he's trying to grow his guide business. Let me tell you, he's a ton of fun to fish with. He really knows his stuff. I'm starting to refer to this guy as the panfish whisperer because he really knows his way around those bluegill and crappie. So look him up online, otcfishing.com. That's Ottertail County, of course. The bites out in this area, let me tell you, it's hard to find a better area of the country to target some big panfish, and Connor's the right guy to do it with. So thanks for tuning in this week. We'll see you next time right here on In-Depth Outdoors.
For more info on the latest fish reports, gear recommendations, and hottest techniques, connect with us online at indepthoutdoors.com or follow us on Facebook at In-Depth Outdoors. And if you enjoyed today's show, be sure to let our sponsors know.